You know, whenever the topic of AI in education comes up, the conversation almost always gets stuck in these two extremes, right? It's either utopian hype or dystopian fear. But what if the real magic, the real potential, is somewhere in the middle? Let's dig into how AI could become a true teammate for teachers, not just a tool, and definitely not a replacement.
This is the question, isn't it? The one that's on everyone's mind and frames this whole debate. But honestly, what if that's the absolute wrong question to be asking in the first place? It feels like we're constantly caught in this tug-of-war. On one side, you have this deep fear that AI is going to de-skill our incredible educators, just strip away their professional judgment, and on the other side, you've got the hype, the idea that AI will magically fix everything, from grading papers to creating perfectly personalized lessons for every single student. The truth, as it almost always is way more interesting and a lot more complex.
Okay, so let's cut through the noise. Here's the crucial point. The real conversation we should be having isn't about the technology itself. It's about teacher agency, the power for educators to make their own choices, to innovate, and, as the research puts it, to act rather than be acted upon. This is the lens we really need to be looking through.
All right, to really get a grip on this, we can start with a pretty simple framework. There are basically 3 ways we can think about AI's role in the classroom.
So first up, you've got replacement, which is pretty straightforward. The AI just takes over a task completely. Then there's complementarity, where the AI is more of a supportive tool that helps a teacher do what they already do. And finally, there's augmentation, and this is the really exciting one, where the teacher and the AI team up to do things neither of them could ever do alone.
Okay, that's the basic breakdown, but now we're going to go deeper. We can actually map out this whole partnership idea across a really detailed 5-level framework. So let's break this down step by step. So let's start at the ground floor. Level 1, transactional. The best way to think about the AI here is like a simple order-taking assistant.
Think of it like this. It's a super simple request and response. A teacher says, hey, generate a quiz for me on the American Revolution, or translate this permission slip, and boom, the AI just does that one specific thing. The goal here is all about efficiency, plain and simple.
And you can see that really clearly in this diagram. It's just a straight line, a direct command from the teacher's request to the AI's action. It's clean, it's simple, and it gets a specific job done.
All right, let's climb the ladder a bit to level 2, situational. Now, this is all about creating a kind of shared awareness of everything that's happening in the classroom. Now, this is where things get interesting. The AI becomes kind of like a sensor for the classroom. It's collecting and crunching data, like who's talking to whom in a group project, and then it presents these really meaningful insights back to the teacher, giving them a bird's-eye view they might have missed otherwise. And what's so important here is that the dynamic has totally shifted. The AI is no longer just an order taker. It's an informant. But notice, the AI provides the data, but the teacher is still 100% in the driver's seat, making the final call. Moving on up to level 3, the partnership gets even tighter. We're talking about operational teaming. Okay, so in this model, the teacher is basically the head coach or the strategist. They set the high-level goals, they create the instructional game plan. Then the AI acts as their trusted operational partner, working on its own to help carry out that plan. And you can see that relationship laid out right here. The teacher is handing over the playbook, they're defining the tasks, the plans, the rules of the game, and the AI goes out and executes the plays within those boundaries.
Now we get to level 4, and this is where the relationship starts to feel, well, almost alive. It's called practical teaming.
And honestly, this is a total game changer. At this level, the AI doesn't just do tasks. It actually learns. It watches the teacher's feedback, it pays attention to their choices, and over time, it starts to adapt its own suggestions to better fit that teacher's unique style and expertise.
Just look at that feedback loop in the diagram. That's the secret sauce right there. The teacher reviews and tweaks what the AI produces, and the AI actually uses that feedback to get smarter for next time. It's a genuine learning relationship.
And that brings us to the very top, the summit of this whole idea. Synergy. It's the ultimate goal, but as you're about to see, it's also the toughest climb. Okay, just look at the 2 diagrams side by side. On the left, you've got the practical model, where the AI is learning from the teacher. But on the right, in the synergistic model, that's a whole different ballgame. There's a new element there, negotiation. It's a true two-way street.
This, right here, is the dream, synergy. The teacher and the AI actually challenge each other's ideas. They solve problems together. They create things that are better than what either one could have come up with on their own. The AI might push back on a teacher's plan, and the teacher refines the AI's suggestion. It's a true collaborative partnership.
But, and this is a big but, here comes the reality check. A huge meta-analysis found that in 58% of cases, human-AI teams actually did worse than the best individual working alone, whether that was a human or an AI. So synergy is absolutely not a given.
So what's going on here? Why is true synergy so incredibly difficult to pull off? Well, the research points to a few key things. First, the type of task matters a lot. It's easier for simple creative stuff than for really complex decisions. Second, human competence is crucial. Teachers need to be skilled enough to know when to trust the AI and when to say, nope, I know better. And finally, the design of the system itself has to be deliberately built for collaboration.
So after all that, where do we land? It really points to a future that isn't about replacement at all. It's about co-evolution, a dynamic, ever-changing relationship between the human educator and their AI co-pilot.
There's this quote from the source material that just hits the nail on the head. It's a two-way street. The AI learns the subtle priorities of what makes great teaching from the expert teacher, and in turn, the teacher's own practice is shaped and even enhanced by working with the AI.
Which, of course, leaves us with the biggest question of all. We're not just picking a piece of software here. We are literally designing a teammate. So what kind of partner do we really want in our classrooms? And maybe more importantly, how much agency are we going to give our teachers in helping to build it? That's the conversation we all need to be having.